if you watch the whole video, you will get a completely different opinion than if you just watch the first few minutes. So my intention is not to shame anybody, talk bad about anybody at all. It's all respect and just philosophizing and trying to understand why people do what they do. So please, if you're gonna have an opinion about me, please make sure you're gonna watch the entire video, because there's no intention of disrespect here. I'm just being transparent about some thoughts that I've been having, and just watch the whole video, please. I have a bit of a controversial video for you guys, and so I was thinking of not making it just because you'll know why, but here's really what it is. I know a lot of women are like, oh, a man can't talk about a woman's body, this and that, but this video is about women dressing modestly. And so I watched this video the other day where this girl was wearing basically underwear in the gym, you know, like a lot do. And this guy, AI edited her to have sweatpants on and like a sweater, not a sweater, but like a long sleeve t-shirt. And then when she put on the other clothes, when the guy AI put the clothes on, I'm like, that girl looks so nice, I would love to talk to her. But when she had the other outfit on, she was like so unapproachable. Like the girls who wear the super tight booty shorts and the sports bras in the gym and stuff, it's like, to me, it looks so unapproachable. Like when I watched the girls' videos on Instagram, a lot of them seem to have big egos and attitudes. I'm not saying it's all girls. And the reason I don't want to talk about this is because I'm still willing to date these girls. I don't really like it, but it doesn't mean they're bad people. And so I've spent a lot of time trying to look past the way girls dress. But no matter how hard I try, you know, it still changes the way I see them. You know, this one girl I seen, she was wearing these booty shorts, and then she put on the sweatpants, and then just the before and after of just the way I saw her is like, oh my God, like my subconscious energy is like, so if I felt so much more respect for her when she changed her clothes. And I was just like, wow, I'm so surprised by how much differently I saw her when she put on more clothes. And it's not because I was intentionally judging her. It's like a real intuitive thing. And so I made the video the other day, or yesterday, are women overly sexualized? And what I was saying is that I don't think it's women that are overly sexualized. I think that people in general are having a sex deficiency. And so when men do not have the sex that they need, they go crazy. And that's why a man seeing a girl dressed sexy, a guy who hasn't gotten laid for a while, it's going to make him go crazy, instantly make him go crazy, right? And then I said in the comments that the reason that girls are dressing so revealing, so provocatively today is probably because they're not having enough sex. And so because of that, they feel the need to express themselves sexually because they are not being sexually satisfied. So that's probably why they go to the gym dressed like that. That's probably why they go around without bras, so you can see their nipples, because they want the sexual expression of themselves. And so my theory is that if a girl is sexually satisfied, she'll probably be much less likely to dress provocatively. And so girls aren't doing this on purpose. They're not thinking about this when they're doing it. They're not saying I'm doing this because of this and that. But I intuitively sense that the reason a lot of these girls dress like this is because they're not sexually satisfied and they're just expressing themselves sexually. And so I was saying that the problem is not women. The problem is not men. The problem is people in general. And so it's lack of healthy relationships that's the problem. If, the percentage of people that are capable of a healthy relationship is kind of low these days. Now, let's say everybody was so much more healthy, people wouldn't go these long periods being single. We'd have relationships and everybody would be having sex every day. So men wouldn't be so thirsty and desperate, and then women wouldn't feel the need to maybe dress like that. And so is it bad for women to dress like this? I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't know if it's bad or not. Do I not like it because I'm insecure? Do I not like it because I'm brainwashed and conditioned? I don't know. Do I not like it because it's my intuitive instinct? Well, I know that a big part of the reason I don't like it is because I know the reason why a lot of women do it. I can sense that a lot of women do it out of rebellion. They do it because it's an attitude. It's an expression of their attitude. And not every girl who does it for like this attitude type of reason, but a lot of them are doing it for this reason. And their excuse is they're dressing comfortably and expressing themselves, and they're being free, and bodies are not sexual. And I'm like, when these girls tell people, oh, I think it's hilarious. These girls are like, they're like, the human body isn't sexual. Boobs aren't sexual. Vagina, butt's not sexual. I'm like, of course you think that. You're a girl. I'm like, of course you think that. Like, I'm like, how could you say as a girl that boobs aren't sexual? You don't know how we feel, really. It's like, oh, us men are just overly horny, and that's the problem. Boobs aren't sexual. Vagina and butts aren't sexual. I'm like, you are so silly for thinking that. And I'm not trying to sound condescending, but it just you think I'm reacting like I'm like I feel like I'm gonna explode. I see a hot girl, oh my god, I fucking go crazy. When I see their nipples through the shirt, I see their ass, I'm like, oh my fucking god. Makes me go crazy. And I'm like, you're gonna tell me it's not sexual and that I'm just brainwashed? I'm brainwashed because I've overly sexualized women because I've watched porn or because this and that? Well, first off, I haven't watched porn for over a year now, and that might not be long enough to unbrainwash. But the thing is, like, I don't think that porn is really as big of the problem as they say it is. Porn is really bad, but the porn is not the cause of the problem. It's the result of the problem. People watch porn because of a problem. The porn doesn't cause the problem. The porn is the result of the problem, and it makes it worse. Like, someone becomes a drug addict for another reason. Someone doesn't become addicted to heroin because they're addicted to heroin. They had to do something to start the heroin in the first place. Some people can do hard drugs and not get addicted because they don't have the problem that they're solving in the first place with the drug. They're already in a healthy state. They take the drug and it's not fixing anything for them because they didn't have a problem to begin with. Same goes for porn. And so, so the problem is really, it's really lack of connection, and connection leads to sex. It's a lack of relationships, connection, understanding, because it's just this alienation, disconnected, foreign thing, right? And so if you had this true connection, you wouldn't have to find it through a phone screen or by masturbating. So the problem is lack of connection. Sex is a form of connection, but you can have sex with someone without feeling connected to them. You can also have sex with someone that you don't feel connected with, and that doesn't solve it either. You can hook up with a girl, have a one-night stand, and then that doesn't solve your problem. So it's not the hookups that we need, it's the healthy relationships. And I'm not saying like women should have sex with guys they're not comfortable with. Of course not. Like, these men who are bad men, like, they can't have their needs met, because they can't have healthy relationships. And, there are men who are decent guys who can't get a girlfriend, well, because there's also girlfriends there's girls who are the issue and there's guys who are the issue. There's loser guys that can't attract the girls, and there's also girls who treat guys poorly and then cause them problems. Guys cause girls problems, girls cause guys problems. It's not men that are worse or women that are worse. It's people in general that are the problem. If people are just complaining about women, that's not going to fix anything. If women are complaining about men, that's not going to fix anything. You have to look at yourself, So, by coming with these cop-out, easy solutions, it's just too convenient of a solution. Like, just blaming other people is too convenient. It's like, I was arguing with this person in some comments with what I was just saying. I'm like, you saying this is too convenient of an excuse because it makes it so easy for you to not have to think about anything else. If you're going to come up with an answer to any problem in the world ever that results in you not having to continue to think or take accountability, it's probably not the right answer. The real answer is going to require hard work and usually deeper thinking. It's not just, this is like this because of this, and you just blame something. You're not learning from that, right? And so I was just thinking, it's like, like if I have a girlfriend, I'm getting laid on a regular basis, I can see these girls' nipples through their shirt. I can see their ass, and I don't go crazy. You know, like, I don't have sex for a year. All of a sudden, it's like every single girl, it's like taking cocaine, just looking at them, right? And then if I'm having sex regularly, I can see the girl naked and just like, I'm just so chill. You know, I'm just chill, right? And so it's like if every man was getting laid on a regular basis, then like everything's chill, right? But the thing is the men isn't the problem. Woman's not the problem. Like I'm saying, of course, like these men, some of them shouldn't be getting laid because they're acting inappropriately. You know, like a lot of these men don't respect women, and a lot of these women don't respect men either. And so why don't men respect women? It really upsets me when I see guys like, yes, it bothers me when women dress super promiscuously, but I try really hard not to judge them because I've loved some of these girls, you know, and so, you know, it's easier for me to respect a woman who dresses modestly, but it doesn't mean I'm incapable of respecting a woman who dresses promiscuously. And so, like, the men complaining about these women upsets me so much because I have love for these women. And I'm like, you don't know what you're missing out on. Even if these girls aren't perfect, they're still amazing. Even though a lot of them are problems. Even though there's a lot of problematic girls. The girls that you're judging could change your life. They could rock your world. They could love you so much. And it makes me upset to see these guys disrespecting these girls. Because like I said, they don't know what they're missing. And even if these girls aren't perfect, they could still be great for you. And so I want men to respect women more. Because women have done so much for me. And I love women so much. And I want men to also experience the beauty of women. And I have so much love for women. I see so much potential in women. And when men just talk poorly about them, yeah, I want to fix that attitude that men have against women. And, you know, women's attitude against men, I don't know. A woman would probably have to be the one to talk to them about it. And so, like, guys, just because a girl is dressing promiscuously, don't judge her. Don't say mean things to her about it. Like, she could still love you. Why are you being mean to her? Why? What's the point? You think you being mean to this girl is going to make her change? No, it's going to make her double down. And so it's like, you think that, like, slut shaming is going to make these girls change? No, like, think of these girls, think of them as innocent kids. Just a girl who wants the love of her mother and her father. She's an innocent girl. Just like, even if they're not innocent, imagine them as if they were a kid. And look at them and understand that they're just somebody who wants love. They just want to be understood. And they grew up. They went through what they went through. They became what they became. But deep down, you know, the spiritual concept of the inner child, they still just want to be loved. And so, you know, if you can look past some of these girls' flaws and love them, they can blossom. They can really transform. And, you know, like, my favorite girlfriend I've ever had, you know, she was into LGBT. And after she was with me for a while, she completely did a 180. And she was like, I don't believe in that anymore. I don't think it was healthy. And so, like, just because a girl is liberal, just because a girl has tattoos or piercings, just because a girl doesn't like to wear a bra, doesn't mean that she's a problem. Because let's say some of these things aren't good for her to do. It's possible for her to change. And let's say what she's doing is fine. You thinking it's a problem when it's not, you're missing out on so much. And so, you know, the whole tattoo, piercing, colored hair thing, you know, the red pill stuff, like, I don't, if a girl has a septum piercing, I will still date her. If a girl has pink hair, I will still date her. If a girl has a bunch of tattoos, I will still date her. Do I like all of that? Not really. But sometimes the colored hair is kind of hot. For whatever reason, probably because my exes had colored hair and I have the memories associated with it. But, you know, so I could get into some other topics like, you know, people do these things because they just want to, I'll get, people do these things like tattoos, you know, because, and piercings, because they want to be a part of something. If you get a septum piercing, you're automatically part of the septum piercing community. Every time you see someone with a septum piercing, you can strike a conversation with them. You're more likely to be friends with them because you have something in common. So the reason that these girls get tattoos is because they want to be loved. And they believe that they're not doing this on purpose. They're not intentionally doing this, but they get the tattoos because they want to be a part of something. And by her getting tattoos, she has something to show people. She has a reason to start a conversation. And she gets to be a part of the tattoo community. Same reason people get cool cars. Same reason people get motorcycles, And so the septum piercings are, it's the same reason LGBT. Some people will become homosexual in order to be a part of a community. It's all about identity. It's all about finding belonging. And so the reason that I kind of don't like these things is because it shows that often they're trying too hard, which means they're less likely to be stable, which means they're more likely to be inconsistent, which means they can be more difficult to work with because, let's take myself for an example. I have a tendency to be manic. I have a tendency to be anxious. I have a lot of ups and downs. What does this mean? Some days I have these grandiose ideas. I'm so enthusiastic. I'm on top of the world. I have so much enthusiasm. And the next day I'm depressed and I don't know why. That's what being manic is. Super excited, super driven one day. The next day you don't care anymore. So, when I'm consuming a lot of marijuana, I tend to be more manic. And I used to be way more manic when my health is fucked up. Watch my life story video, but I really, 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 really messed up my health, and it made me super unstable for a long time, and I'm doing a lot better now. And, eating too much red meat can do it too. Focusing on the chicken helps. And so I can understand how these people are because myself. And so with me, I can tend to be a high anxiety person. And so what does this mean? I get excited about something, and then I get nervous, and then I want to change my mind. For example, I could be talking to a girl, and then I get anxious, and because I get anxious, I might cancel, right? I haven't really done that a lot, but I did that recently with somebody. I was really excited to see them, but then I just got really anxious, and so I backed out, right? And so, these people who have these high anxiety girls, they're more likely to, love bomb you, love you a lot, and then get anxious and leave because they doubt things or because they get insecure, they get nervous, they get fearful or paranoid, or their feelings change. At one moment they love you, at the other point their feelings change because instability. And so, it's important to be able to analyze people and to understand people so that you invest your energy in the right places. But I'm just trying to say, you can still give these girls a chance. I was just kind of explaining a little bit why people get tattoos and piercings and why Red Pill doesn't approve of it, generally speaking, why guys try to avoid that. But you might be judging these girls for having tattoos, but you might have worse problems and you're just not showing them. I don't have tattoos. I don't have piercings. I don't have colored hair. But I might have worse psychological problems than some of these people. Are my psychological problems that bad? Not really. Sometimes it's a little bit of a problem, a little bit manic. And there could be people with tattoos that are much more balanced than me, much more, calm than me, much more consistent in their energy than me. Not everybody gets the tattoos for exactly the reason I said. They might have had a role model when they were a kid who had tattoos, and they just subconsciously like them because of that. Most people, I think, do it to want to find community. If I say they just want to fit in, that sounds demeaning. It sounds like I'm talking down on them. That sounds mean. We shouldn't be mean to these people. Because you just want to fit in. That's not a nice thing to say. What's wrong with wanting to fit in? Most of these people don't have good relationships with their family. Most of these people, a lot of them don't even have good relationships with their own friends. And so when, you don't know how to meet people, the tattoo is a convenient way to meet people. It makes people start conversations with you, and it gives you an excuse to talk to anybody else who has a tattoo. It's just not the healthiest way to go about it because it's something outside of yourself. like it's something that you're dependent on, right? Like you should be able to go up on your own will and talk to somebody, but it's just the way it is. And so let's say a girl is dressing promiscuously. The problem is not her dressing promiscuously. The problem is that she is probably not happy and satisfied in her relationships. And so getting a girl to dress differently is not the problem. That's not the solution. The solution is, here's the thing. I was going to say show her love. But the thing is that some girls don't believe that they deserve love because they've been hurt. Their parents taught them as a child that they don't deserve to have their own needs met. They've been punished when they show needs. Their parents resent them for having needs. And so, if you try to love one of these girls sometimes who feels like this, she could think, if this guy likes me, he must be a loser because only a loser could like me. And so then they lose respect for you. That can happen with some people. And so, Teal Swan can really help. She's helped me understand things. And so it's like, there's been girls I've been with who I wanted so desperately to help them. I wanted to show them as much love as I could. And eventually I realized that showing them love is not what they needed. They needed to be understood. And understanding somebody and loving somebody are kind of two different things. Showing love and having love are two different things. You can try to show love because you care, but that true compassion and understanding is what you really need. And so to really understand somebody, you have a problem in the relationship, don't focus on showing them more love. Focus on understanding them better. Of course, love them, but you need to, if someone's needs aren't being met, they're going to be upset. If someone's cheating on you, it's probably because their needs aren't being met. If someone's arguing with you or mad at you constantly, it's probably because their needs aren't being met. And you might guess what their needs are, and you might do everything and it's still not working. That's because their true needs are never being met. And so you want to meet their needs, you have to understand them better. Just showing love is not understanding them better. And so it's a difficult situation a lot of the time. And so, some of these girls, you have to be strong for them. You have to not be in this desperate, needy energy with them. You have to be calm. Because these girls, a lot of them, I still myself am learning. But, I've had experiences where I met girls and I really like them. I want to get into a relationship with them. And then I turn them off because I like them too much too fast. And, me liking them too much too fast, the real problem isn't exactly that. The problem is anxiety. Having anxiety throughout the process. So if you like a girl so much, you might get anxious because you haven't met a girl you liked in a long time who actually is giving you attention. And the reason she wants to leave is because you're just dumping all this anxiety on her. It's not because you like her too much. It's because you're putting all this anxiety on her. Because you are feeling anxiety while thinking of her while with her. So I kind of touched on some different topics in this video. I need to get back to the Uber Eats. I just felt like sharing. Thank you for listening.